think that's I think that's great, because I now feel like I can ask you anything. I mentioned before in one of our conversations that you've now become one of the few people I feel like, one of my four, which means a lot to me in a very short space of time, which is very, very weird. I grew up with four brothers, and not having a sister, I think I've always craved that sisterhood, that having either an older or younger sister. I never really experienced that thing where they say, "Oh, a bunch of girls, let's go have a spa day with a bunch of girls, my girl, whatever." So I was always looking for that, and I've never been successful in that. And then my best friend, Tina, is that person that I can really and truly be vulnerable with and not feel, without judgment in any way, shape or form. So I can ask her for anything, because she knows that I would not ask for anything that I would not give, and vice versa. But it took us a long time to develop that relationship, that trust, etc. With you, it's quite weird, because I think it's because you think it, you say it. You think it, you say it. And I feel very, very comfortable asking, but I do want to be able to actually, what's the worst that people can say is no. And we say that a lot. I, as a mentor, say to people, what's the worst that can happen? They'll say no. But do I actually practice what I'm saying to my mentees? If I'm honest with myself, no, not really. Because I'm always afraid of being let down, or I don't know, just not wanting to ask, but I'm happy to give.
I think it's also about, we talk about resetting that narrative and reframing the way that we receive information. And so when someone says no to me, I don't ever see it as a no. So I see it as a not yet, not this time. I don't see it as a no. And I think it can be the no that gives us those kind of sudden setbacks, or the feelings of, oh. But I think we also mentioned at one point, brilliant, probably one of the most epic salesmen of all time, Richard Denny, and he used to tell his team to count the no's, not the yeses, in terms of their sales. So he literally had a board put up where it's how many no's did you get today? Because he knew on a law of averages that by X number of no's there would then be a yes at some point. And so it is reframing that no, not to sit with us as a negative, but actually sit with us as a positive.
It depends on the type of no, though, because there's a type of no that motivates me. That no that you hear and you think, I'll show you. You said no this time, but you
like
wait.
The dare.
Yeah, you wait. You'll be coming to me and asking, and then it'll be my turn to say no. Sorry, it sounds quite spiteful, but those kind of things make me really happy. When I call them "How'd you like me now?" So "How'd you like me now?" moments.
Yeah.
How'd you like me now? I've come to you and said, can you do, and the answer is categorically no. Wow. Okay. I'll show you. And then you go away, and then you work like a crazy person, and then you get your mini "How'd you like me now" moments. I love those moments.
Yeah, there's a sense of achievement from those moments. But if you hadn't got the no, would you have worked so hard for it? So that's a really positive no.
Yes, but I also, maybe I'm just a shallow human being. Those moments give me joy. I'm not gonna lie. Those moments, like there was some, I have to say this though, when since getting my MBE, there's been a few camps of people who are genuinely, my God, really excited, like, hey. Then I've got people like, well, why you? I wasn't expecting that. And from, people that I know, it's like that why you moment. And then there's another camp of people who I'm really pleased they know, because that MBE gave me those how do you like me now moments.
Mm-hmm. Credence, is it?
Yeah, I know, and I know it sounds pathetic, but I really enjoyed
sometimes,
it.
sometimes that's kind of all it does is evidence how things sit in our psyche.
Yeah, I suppose.
And where they hit us. So sometimes the disappointment comes from those you'd expect to be more overjoyed than they were.
That's always the case, isn't it?
And that's usually not to do with you, it's to do with them.
I guess.
And I think that, you know, the reality is there are probably so many people that in their deep, deep psyche wished that they had done something more with their lives. There are some that just don't understand where people like you get your energy from, how you're able to do
you get your energy
all of those different things, and that you won't take no for an answer, and that you will battle through, and so on. And again, that sits with them, not with you. And sometimes people are just resigned. You know, they go, you know, I'm so proud of you. It would never be my thing. And I think that's a really strong place to be. It's actually the people that go, gosh, I'm really proud of you.
I had a few of those. There's some people, some reactions. There was a reaction from yourself, a reaction from Tina, and my husband David, and my brothers. Oh, my friend Lorraine Lewis. Oh my, she cried. Lorraine cried. I mean, there's some people that their reaction was like, oh my goodness. But I think, going back to what we were saying about the no, you're absolutely right. The no you can either let that no knock you back, you can let the no motivate you, and you can take the no as you said, as not yet, maybe
not this time,
and that's the bucket that I forget. I think it is the you know, and it's not being afraid of hearing the no, because I'm okay with the obstacles, the challenges, the no's, etc. But it's hearing it as not yet, maybe. I do like the way your outlook on things, how you look at things. It's not a no, it's a maybe. It's not yet, not this time.
And I think that, you know, if you ask somebody, let's say for example, that let's say you've got your kids and you ask one person 10 times and every time's a no, then you can kind of clarify that and just say, can I just check? Is it an absolute no that you just couldn't ever do that? And then you get a finite no, don't you?
Yeah.
So you know never to ask on that particular question again. And so I think sometimes, rather than go and sense check, we're a little bit more afraid and a little bit more. It's a bit like it's quite common, and I don't like generalising, but I will say it's quite British to have not the best meal, and the waitress comes and you say, was everything all right? And you go, oh yes, it was fine, thank you. You pay the bill and never go back. Now, as business owners, if you were that business owner,
I'd love the feedback.
You want the feedback, don't you? You want to know the bad news. You expect the good news.
Yeah.
So as a manager or a business owner, or you know, you want to know the bad news, because then you can deal with it. You can put it right. You can try and make amends. You can reposition things.
That's absolutely right. We always say that the no's and the disappointments and the negative feedback, there's no such thing as negative feedback anyway, are those steps that you have to climb towards success. You're absolutely right. I want to know, if you're using my products, what's your feedback? Good, bad, or ugly, I always say. Let me know. And if there's a reason why you think it's not right, well, let me talk to you about it. Let me explain to you, but let me hear where you're coming from. And that helps to improve. So I want to know. I want to know.
And it also gives a platform for management of expectation as well.
True.
Because if a person has been ill-informed or misinformed of what a particular product does, and they've bought it expecting one thing, but actually they shouldn't have expected that.
People expect miracles these days. People just want to slap something on, and then within 10 seconds the wrinkles should disappear. That's a subject for another day. But yeah, I hear you.
And I that you mentioning that actually resonates and reminds me of the conversation we had when you said that anything on the skin, you're dealing with the symptom. And so the skin products can deal with the symptom, but the actual root cause is deeper seated than that.
Absolutely.
Which comes to allergies against food, it comes to not drinking enough water, it comes to
stress, anxiety. When some people developed skin problems during COVID, for example, those external stressors, environmental stress, whatever it is, can trigger. People say, "Oh, I had perfect skin," and all of a sudden, at 45, boom. You know, what's changed? And then our first reaction or instinct is to go and get something to put on it to make it go away without actually solving the root cause of it. I think we do that with most things. You know, when people say you put Band-Aid or plaster over it, the wound is still there. It's
makeup over spots.
There you go. You know, everything you see online right now. I said to my son, if you're going out for a date, take them swimming. Let the whole thing wash off so you can see
the real
person. You know what I mean? I mean, it's funny, but it's true. We kind of mask so much these days that you know, we don't want to battle or tackle the root cause of any problem, be it mental health or be it something emotional, psychological, because those kind of things manifest themselves in so many different ways. If it's not manifesting itself on your skin, it could be something else.